Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. I have the motherfucking tea. Okay, so slight change of plans because shit just went down on YouTube. Let's talk about COPPA. So, COPPA is the Child's Online Protection Act. And really quick, that's a law from 1998 when the internet was still a baby. And it's pretty much saying, hey, if a child is under 13, you can't collect data on them. So, no asking kids where they live, no trying to sell them stuff because it's super predatory. And right now, YouTube is coming under fire for violating that act, understandably so. But the thing is, YouTube is trying to defend itself by saying, hey, you need to be at least 13 to have an account on YouTube. So therefore, we are in compliance. Well, thanks to a 2018 lawsuit, the courts ruled that no, they weren't. And that's partially YouTube's fault. YouTube shot itself in the foot because, I mean, YouTube, with it trying to market itself, it markets itself as the most, sorry, trip of the tongue. It's saying the most kid friendly place on the internet. And it'll advertise itself as the most child content on the internet, with no connection to network or anything like that. And I mean, they're right, but at the same time, when COPPA started coming after them, I think it started in 2013. Um, that was just wrong choice of words, wrong thing to say, and no amount of money is worth catching a million something dollars fine. So, what does this mean now? This means that YouTube has to do a full overhaul on the content that gets posted there. And how are they doing that? They're kicking it to the creators. Creators are asked to, by January the 1st of 2020, to mark their content as either child content or non-child content. And I mean, at that point, it just seems like a no-brainer, right? Is your video meant for kids or is it not meant for kids? But what about when there's a gray area? So let's say we have a YouTuber that likes Pokemon. Pokemon's for kids, right? They review Pokemon games. Seems pretty kid friendly like. You see Pikachus. Pikachus are cute. Pretty child oriented, child appealing as the law would put it. But let's say that this YouTuber is a 30-year-old man, has a potty mouth, and does satire and parody videos, including the Pokemon, because he can just remember the bullshit difficulty of Pokemon as a child. Suddenly, this video doesn't seem very kid-friendly, right? Not according to the FTC. See, the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, they admitted, or rather, during a press conference, they let everyone know that, hey, starting January 2020, they were going to have bots on YouTube and they're going to have a surface level analysis of all the content put on YouTube because no one can monitor all the content on YouTube as it's being posted. It's going to be surface level, so it's looking for key things. Would you like to know what a few of those key things are? Bright colors, cartoon characters, even though not all cartoons are for kids. Language appealing to kids like dude and cool and whatever and stuff like that. Circa 1998. Like, there are so many YouTubers on the platform that are in jeopardy of having to mark their stuff as child content. And I mean, you may ask, hey, what's so bad about having to mark your stuff as child content? Well, don't we have much to discuss? So, if you have child content on YouTube, your stuff is virtually unmonetizable. Uh, it'll see a decrease about 90% on ad revenue, and you won't be able to have your videos on the recommended page. You can't have comments in your comment section. All fan based interaction is pretty much disconnected. The things that YouTube takes into account when deciding if you can monetize your videos are all things that are being cut. Like, if you make child's content on YouTube, you no longer have a viable source of income. And sadly enough, if you make content that are, well, could be misconstrued as child appealing, then hey, you also are in hot water here. The channel I just described is a channel called Lockston. Um, he's been doing mostly Pokemon analysis videos and stuff like that because Pokemon is a nostalgic property. But in the eyes of the FTC and a bunch of lawmakers that have probably never even heard of a Pikachu or any Pokemon, they'll be like, well, clearly this is a video for kids. Now, with all of this being said and YouTube doing this overhaul, one has to ask, what if you mark your stuff as child content and it does have profanity and it does have all this other non-child safe, non-brand safe thing going on? The law doesn't address anything like that. There's a massive gray area here. Because if you have your videos marked as child content, you don't get the hefty $40,000 fine per video that the law demands. Great. You're not out an ungodly amount of money. But let's say that your video is flagged because you have some very, choice words, or even though your video includes bright colors and language appealing to kids, turns out you have the mouth of a sailor. You could also be charged that way. So, what does this mean for YouTube and its community? We don't know yet. Is that sad? Hell yeah. It's sad as hell. I want to be on YouTube right now. So I'm like over here shaking in my boots because I know for damn well I'm going to have bright colors. I'm an artist and I'm probably going to be drawing characters that are appealing to kids. I mean, it doesn't have to be SpongeBob or Mickey Mouse in order to appeal to children. I was watching anime ever since I was 4 or 5 years old. So, right now, what can we do? Because it just seems like YouTube is about to die. Well, there are petitions circling on the website because the FTC, before enacting the law, is subjecting it to review. People are able to sign the petition in order to have the law revised, to better reflect how things are in 2019. Because, no one needs to be preying on children. That is extremely, extremely exploitive, and that's not okay. That said, though, it could be that they need to better define what counts as child content. Like maybe something that unmistakably, undeniably is for a child, like nursery rhyme videos or ABCs or that character Blippi. Like, it does suck that people like Blippi and other child content creators would suffer like this, but that's why they have brands and sponsorships and merch stores. That's been a way more viable um, source of income for YouTubers anyway. But all that to say, YouTube is kind of fucked right now until someone revises the law and hopefully the FTC takes a petition seriously. Another way to combat this would be to, God dare I say it, tweet the president, being that he's going to need something to deflect from himself and all the impeachments. And I promise this isn't a political video, but just saying, um, if he wants people off his ass from the Ukraine call and the quid pro quo, probably be a good idea to investigate this COPPA thing. If he saves YouTube, then hey, maybe, just maybe, he's not so bad. Just kidding, he's terrible. Anyway, this has been the motherfucking tea, and I spilled it.